Huzur, this is a question from somebody in England. It is that if it is possible for a person to come and pray all the prayers or most of the prayers behind the Khalifa of the time, then should that person prefer to do so or and spend more time praying behind the Khalifa than in his own mosque? Or in the sight of Allah, is it the same wherever the person prays?
No, as far as the mosque where the Khalifa leads the prayer is concerned, this is called the central mosque. And people from all different places who can afford to come used to come in Qadian as well as in Rabwa to say their prayer in the central Masjid Mubarak, for instance, in Rabwa. And nobody objected. They came from far and wide, different places. You see, it was such a custom that sometimes even the madmen, half mad, used to come from their home to the central mosque. Once I remember our late Bisharatul Rahman Sahib, Bisharatul Rahman, Professor Sufi Bisharatul Rahman, late Sufi Bisharatul Rahman Sahib, he told me a joke about one person known as Aslam, who had turned mad, but in a strange way. His madness was about all goodness, not about evil things. So once I remember he told me, Sufi Bisharatul Rahman Sahib, that he was late for prayer. So Aslam said, let us go to the central mosque and say our prayer there. So he said, it's getting late. He said, no, I must take you along to the central mosque and you must say your prayer there. So he was a very harsh man in his madness. So he said, all right, let's go. So instead of going to the mosque, he knocked at the door of Hazrat Mirza Bashir Ahmad Sahib. And when he came out, he said, what is it? He said, look at the Bisharatul Rahman. He has not said his prayer as yet. The sun is about to rise. This man has not said it. So this was a custom in Qadian as well. People used to came from different mahallas, as we call them, and said their prayer in the central mosque. So also in Rabwa, as Maulana Abul Sahib used to come from that mahalla of yours, quite some distance from the central mosque. I remember him. He, as much as possible as was possible for him, he used to say his prayers there. So a madman, very normal person. So let's talk a little more of Aslam. He was a very pious man, and he had a shock. He was a very clever person, and I think he was a gold medalist in his MA, and he passed with honors his CSP, the highest civil service examination. But the person whom he wanted to marry refused. So he was so madly in love with that person that he actually was turned into a madman after the refusal. So I want to speak of him so these people will remember him in prayer. Very good person. Once he came to Ahmediyya hostel. But let me first tell some experience in Masjid Mubarak Qadian. He used to ask children and even old people, can you stand on one leg? They said, yes, we can. He said, come on. He put them just next to the wall, close to the wall, and said, lift this leg. The leg with the wall was the right one, and he asked them to lift the left leg. It's impossible. If you want to try, you can try it. When you're standing close to the wall, you can lift the leg close to the wall, but not the farther leg. So he used to laugh. He said, "Look here, you can't do it," and you just boasted that you can raise the one leg. Once he came to Ahmediyya hostel while I was a student there, and remained there for 10 days or so, and people used to rush around him and talk to him, and he caused a lot of waste of time of the students. So the superintendent respected him, but he was also afraid of him. So he wanted to say to him that, please, for God's sake, leave this place now. Enough is enough. So I remember I was sitting in the mosque when the superintendent came and said, Raja Sahib, he was called Raja Aslam, Raja Sahib, enough is enough. For 10 days you have been wasting the time of students, so please leave now. So he turned back, he said, it is a sign of his repartee. He said, Superintendent Sahib, are you ordering me or requesting? So he said, obviously he is a madman. He said, I order, he will be angry. He said, no, I am requesting. He said, na manzoor. If it is a request, I reject that request. It was a demonstration of this against this wall. Yes.
On va voir une petite démonstration de cela.
Yes. Everybody should understand what I'm talking about. Huh?
Oui, donc
Raja Aslam was very clever.
il dit que Raja Aslam Sahib était très très malin en fait. Il demandait des choses futées.
Hard against the wall.
Alors il a la jambe.
This wall, this. The one with the wall.
Celle qui est à côté du mur. C'était donc la jambe qui est à côté du mur qu'il fallait lever. Donc on voit que
there is this curtain, so you can't demonstrate here in this place.
En fait, dans ce studio d'Ihuzur, il y a le rideau qui est devant le mur, donc c'est un peu difficile de le démontrer convenablement. Mais comme vous voyez que si vous mettez la jambe à côté du mur, vous essayez de lever cette jambe-là, vous ne pouvez pas tenir debout.
See, if I'm standing against the wall, I can lift this leg, but I can't lift this leg. It's impossible.
Si je suis contre le mur d'Ihuzur, si j'ai une jambe qui est à côté du mur, je ne peux pas la lever. Je peux lever l'autre, mais pas celle-là. Donc c'était une chose impossible, et il savait que c'était impossible, c'est pour ça qu'il demandait aux enfants, et puis il se moquait d'eux.
Maybe it's the other way around. I think it's the other way around. If I'm pressed against the wall, I can't lift this leg, can I? Huh? I'll fall.
You have to compensate
that's
by
right, yes,
bending.
Yes, that's right.
Oui. En fait, bon, l'une ou l'autre jambe, bon, essayez-le. Maybe we could ask the viewers to try it at home and see.
Then let's know later on.
Yes. Donc les téléspectateurs sont.
Assalamu alaikum.
Wa alaikum salam. Thank you very much for bringing a picture of your family and the get together.
Yes.
After long, it was so beautiful. Eh?
Thank you.
MashaAllah. Your mother looks like your sister.
Yes.
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 Full of youth, and still she has so many daughters and children, and among them she's just like one of the sisters. Right?
Yes, that's true.
Please, your question.
Ma question, c'est à propos